Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will bring some evidence to support a claim, and the claim is that United States supports and is directly involved in providing Ukraine with sensitive data in helping Ukraine hit various targets in Russia or in Russian side. As you probably know, there is a little problem here that started with when the Russians at the United Nations claimed that NATO could trigger a nuclear war by its direct involvement in the war in Ukraine, and they said that that could be triggered by US's involvement in the intelligence, providing intelligence coordinates and other sensitive intelligence of Russian targets and helping the Ukrainians hit those targets, which would be a direct involvement, which the Russians say that is one of the scenarios that we can reserve the right to use nuclear weapons. One was our national security is threatened, and the other one is if NATO gets involved actively, directly. That's what they said at the United Nations. And I will just make it like a general first and then go deeper. Then the Western countries said, no, that's an exaggeration. We never did that. And the Russians pointed out to some statements made in a few months ago, which is May and early June, and I have the videos on those, and I will upload them in the links in the description box below with my videos with the exact statements made by General Austin of the United States and Ukrainian leadership about to what extent the help of the United States is, how big it is, how great it is. And I will talk about it in detail as I'm going. I'm just making a general explanation of the issue. Now the Russians said, you did this, you remember those statements, and now we have an article here where the Ukrainians and the Americans try to use euphemisms, minimalization, and avoiding to tell the truth, keeping quiet. So let's read this article, and then I will read the other articles that I posted, videos I made regarding this issue. So this is what United States. Russia said at the United Nations on August 2nd, West could trigger nuclear war over Ukraine, Russia said. And they said that, it says that NATO could be, such a move would be able to trigger one of the two emergency scenarios described in our doctrine. So that's the involvement of the NATO, direct involvement. And it says here, Russia on Tuesday accused the United States of direct involvement in the Ukraine war. And that was, it made many people say, oh my God, you're just exaggerating, you're not, and we never did that. So let me read you the article that came up today on August 3rd, where it's the damage control article. It comes from the Business Insider from August 3rd, 2022. The US has a veto on what Russian targets Ukraine hits with its HIMARS artillery, General suggests. So, and basically in this article they say, all we do is when Ukrainians tell us, hey, we want to hit that target, Russian target over there, what do you think? And they say, okay, go ahead, or don't go ahead, stop. Which is again the same thing as with F-16s. You can take off. If United States sold you an F-16 to a country, that country, if it wants to take off with that F-16 that it belongs to, that country has to call Pentagon and ask, hey, this is going to go in this mission. And the Pentagon says yay or nay. Can you imagine that? So the same thing it seems to be with HIMARS, and I said this about 3 days ago. That's the same thing. The United States tells because it's a controlled war here, it's controlled, tells the Ukrainians when to hit, how to hit, and when to use it. It seems like that, so that's a coordination in my assessment. But let's go and see what these guys say. So the US has a veto on targets for US supplied HIMARS. Veto. Yes, no, should, no. But it's mine, what are you talking about? So Major General Vadim Sibitsky made the remarks to British newspaper The Telegraph on Monday. That's damage control. A Pentagon spokesman confirmed data sharing with Ukraine but did not comment on the veto. The US has an effective veto on Russian targets hit by HIMARS artillery, a Ukrainian journal suggested. Major General Vadim Sibitsky, Ukraine's acting deputy head of the military intelligence, described the target selection process as in an interview with the UK Daily Telegraph newspaper. The Telegraph, paraphrasing Sibitsky's comment, reported that he suggested there were discussions between a launch that would allow Washington to stop any potential attack if they were unhappy with the intended target. He did not go into further detail. Now, asked to comment on this, Pentagon spokesman Robert L. Ditchie II gave a general statement without confirming or pushing back on the veto claim. We provide Ukrainians with detailed, time-sensitive information to help them understand the threats they face and defend their country against Russian aggression. That means, hey, they're coming that way, they are over there, they are over there. This is the detailed, time-sensitive information to help them understand the threats. Who's coming, when, what are they planning to do. The US has supplied blah, blah, blah. And then he says, in the early months of the war, the US resisted giving any HIMARS to Ukraine, fearing that adding long-range weaponry to Ukraine arsenal could be seen as an escalation. And then they did, right? So, let's go to, it says, Sibitsky's suggestion, made months later, was of more involved exchange. Sibitsky did say that the US was not providing direct targeting information. Remember, Sibitsky did say that the US was not providing direct targeting information, an act that could undermine the US position that it is not taking part in the war. So they lie here, because they say here the US was not providing direct targeting information, and then they recognize, they agree that there would be an act that US takes part in the war. So I'm going to read again. Sibitsky did say that the US was not providing direct targeting information. So he denied an act that could undermine the US position that it is not taking part in the war. So now let's go to my little videos, okay? It says, nonetheless, Sibitsky's comments prompted an angry reaction from Russia, like they're crazy, you know, with a spokesperson for its foreign minister characterizing his words as confirmation of direct involvement of the United States in the hostilities. Now you're going to be the judge in a second. So this is what I found. I found two videos that I made, and these the videos were made. Let me see. The videos were made. The first one was made, and as I said, it's uploaded in the description below, the link. It says it's in May 5th, 2022, and you can find it under this title. US intelligence helped with the killing of 12 Russian generals, US Defense Secretary Austin, ! It's still available. So US intelligence helped with the killing of 12 Russian generals, US Defense Secretary said. Now, if that's not, and you're going to go and listen to my little voice over there and mentioning the article from where I got it, and that was, what was that? Republic World, and which is taken from somewhere else. Now, the second video is from June 15th, 2022, and it says, US gives intelligence data to Ukraine for accurate multiple launchers strikes against Russia. So US gives intelligence data to Ukraine for accurate multiple launchers strikes against Russia. The first one is on May 5, and the other one is in June 15. And you're going to listen to my beautiful voice over there if you want. And over there, there's two articles that I'm discussing with exact statements of these weasels that right now they say, no, we don't provide, we only veto. And then they denied here that Sibitsky, whatever his name is, he denied, he says, Skibitsky, from Exhibitionism. Skibitsky did say the US was not providing direct targeting information. In a second video, you're going to find probably Skibitsky or someone, I can't remember exactly, saying, no, they actually help us. That was, he jumped the gun right there. So you're going to find that these guys are covering. So the Russians are not talking smack on this one, and these guys are trying to use euphemisms and this and that in order to cover for the reality. And then after the statements from 15th of June, the United States started saying, don't say that again. I think it was Biden said, don't, Pentagon, don't, blah, 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 blah. I think I made a video on that too, about 3 days after that or something like that, because they say, shush, never mention that again. So they knew they up. So now we have this one. Please watch those videos. If you want to refresh your memory, if you want to really get the names of the articles, the dates, you can read them on your own. I always provide the name, the source, and the date, so it will be very easy to find those articles. Read them on your own, and then read this article that I just mentioned now. Again, I provided the Reuters, the title, and the date, and you can read it, but I already read it for you. So nevertheless, liars spends on atomic bombs. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.